Imagine reading one tiny post online that says I paid $20 and your brain instantly whispers, America. No flag, no city, no accent, just a dollar sign. But that guess feels automatic because the internet has a hidden setting, a country it keeps loading first, even when nobody asked. This is called US defaultism, the habit of treating America as the normal version of online life until proven otherwise. It shows up in money, in units, in laws, and in tiny comments. Someone says it is hot today, and one person thinks Fahrenheit, another thinks Celsius, and both think they are being obvious. Someone says the election, and one brain draws Washington, while another draws a completely different country, with the same confidence. So the real question is not, why are people careless? The better question is, why did America become the internet's default country? A default is what happens when nothing else is specified. Your phone has defaults, your browser has defaults, your brain has them too, because guessing saves energy, missing information feels uncomfortable, so the mind fills the gap. If you grew up around miles, miles feel normal. If you grew up around kilometers, kilometers feel normal. If every store around you uses dollars, a dollar sign feels local, not global, even though many places use dollar signs. That is the trap. The familiar thing does not announce itself as familiar. It announces itself as normal. US defaultism happens when American local defaults walk into a global room and act like the room is local. It is not always arrogance. Sometimes it is just autocomplete. The brain sees a blank space and chooses the nearest answer. But when millions of people autocomplete the same way, the pattern becomes visible, and everyone outside the default starts noticing the bug. Start with the dollar sign. It looks simple. One symbol, one little S with a line. But the symbol does not only mean US dollars. It can point to Canada, Australia, Singapore, and more. So when someone writes $20, the correct answer might be obvious locally. But online, local is not enough. Then come measurements: feet, inches, Fahrenheit. For many Americans, those are everyday tools. For much of the world, they are conversion homework. A person says 6 feet tall. One viewer sees a body, another sees a math problem, and both are reading English. Even time can do it. 5 p.m. feels normal. 1700 feels normal. Military time depends on where you stand. The internet removes the room, but keeps the sentence, so every reader rebuilds the room from their own country. Now add platform history. Many giant online spaces were built or scaled in America and carried American habits with them. Not because the internet belongs to America, it does not, but because early defaults leave fingerprints on everything built later. Think of dates, addresses, zip codes, state abbreviations. A form asks for a state, a website prices in dollars, a shipping page assumes one country, and the user learns the pattern. Then media makes it louder. Movies and music, news and creators. If one country's stories travel everywhere, its school buses and tax days, healthcare arguments, and holidays start feeling familiar. Familiar is powerful because it feels like knowledge, even when it is only repetition, wearing a very convincing hat. So America becomes easy to picture, easy to reference, easy to joke about, and easy to assume. Language adds another layer. English is not one country, but online it often feels like one hallway, with many doors hidden behind it. There is American English, British English, Indian and Nigerian English, and many more. But if your feed shows mostly American voices, English starts sounding American, not because it is, but because your sample is tilted. Algorithms do not show the whole world. They show a version of the world, shaped by clicks, and by what you already recognize. That makes the default stronger, because each assumption feeds the next recommendation, and the loop trains itself. A global platform can feel local if the feed keeps handing you your own country's version of the global conversation. And if your local version is huge, the mistake gets exported with every comment and joke and every default setting. This is why the bug feels cultural, technical, and psychological all at once. The brain does not like uncertainty. It wants a scene, a place, and a rulebook. So when a post lacks context, the brain grabs the nearest template, not the fairest template, the nearest one. For an American reader, the nearest template is often America, because it is everywhere in daily life, from school to signs to news. For a Thai reader, the nearest template might be Thailand. For a French reader, it might be France. That part is normal. Everyone starts somewhere. The problem begins when somewhere pretends to be everywhere. The internet punishes missing context because tone is thin, location is invisible, and speed rewards guessing. So a small assumption becomes a correction, then a joke, then a fight about geography. All because the original post did not say where it was from, and the reader's brain opened the local file. Here is the twist. US defaultism is real, But defaultism is not only American, it is human. Every country has invisible assumptions about food and weather, school, and politeness. People everywhere say normal when they really mean normal here. People everywhere say everyone when they mean everyone I know. The American version gets noticed more because America is big, loud, and unusually visible online. A small country's default may confuse a few outsiders. A superpower's default can confuse an entire comment section. That is why the best answer is not shame, it is scale, plus a shortcut. America is not the whole internet, but it has been one of the loudest rooms inside the internet for a very long time. And when a room is loud enough, people inside it forget the walls, while people outside it can hear every assumption. The fix is surprisingly small. Ask which country, ask which currency, ask which law, ask what unit, ask what time zone, ask what context before the default takes over. This does not make the internet slower, it makes it clearer, because one extra question can remove 10 wrong replies. It also makes the joke better, because now the joke is precise, not just loud and not just local. If someone says it costs $20, the internet can ask, which dollars, instead of shouting America. If someone says it is freezing, the internet can ask Celsius or Fahrenheit before arguing about weather. If someone says the law says, the internet can ask where, because law is not a universal wallpaper. The habit is simple. Do not remove your local setting. Just remember, it is a setting. The internet feels borderless because the screen is flat, the language travels fast, and the map is hidden. But every reader arrives with borders, with habits, with measurements, and with stories already installed. US defaultism is what happens when one very visible local world gets mistaken for the whole world. So the next time a post feels obvious, pause for half a second, look for the missing country, and watch the internet get bigger. Because the internet is global, but your brain still opens it with local settings.